Hello students, how are you? Myself Pratibha Birazdar ma'am, and today I will start the sexual reproduction. Actually in previous lecture Sunita ma'am explained you all about the 12th standard biology syllabus and started the first chapter reproduction in lower and higher plants and completed the asexual reproduction. Right? Now I will continue this chapter from sexual reproduction. So today we will discuss about sexual reproduction. Before we will start in the sexual reproduction, just revise the previous parts, that is asexual reproduction. See first, what is reproduction? The ability of living organism to give rise to young ones of their own kind called reproduction. Definition of reproduction. And what is the significance of this reproduction? It helps in continuation of species as well as to maintain the continuity of life. Right? The next one, types of reproduction. Two types of reproduction. First, asexual reproduction, and second, sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, which is also called apomixis. Apo means without, mixis means mixing. Means in this process the mixing or fusion of gametes not takes place. So what is meant by asexual reproduction? The reproduction which takes place without formation and fusion of gametes called as asexual reproduction. So in this process single parent is involved. So offsprings or progeny obtained here are morphologically and genetically identical to the parents and they are called as clones. Right? Then second, sexual reproduction, which is also called amphimixis. Amphi means both, mixis that is mixing. Means in this process fusion of both male and female gametes are takes place. So what is meant by sexual reproduction? The reproduction which takes place by formation and fusion of gametes called sexual reproduction. So in this process two parents are involved. So progeny or produce are not identical to parents because they show the variation. Right? The next one. See in detail asexual reproduction in lower organisms. See first what is meant by lower organisms and higher organisms. Lower organisms means algae, fungi, bryophytes, and higher organisms means pterophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperms. So see first asexual reproduction in lower organisms. In lower organisms again there are different methods of asexual reproduction. See one by one. First, binary fission. It is common in unicellular organism. Here parent cell divides to produce two equal cells that give rise to new individuals. That simple process called as binary fission. Best example amoeba, bacteria. Next one, budding. In this process the division is unequal. Why? Because a small bud or cell are produced that remain attached initially to the parent cell, then it further grow and detach or separated from this parent plant and mature into new individuals. Example, yeast. Next one, spore formation, or is also called sporulation. Different types of motile and non-motile spores are produced by algae and fungi. Mostly algae produce motile spores called as zoospore and fungi produce non-motile spores called conidia. Remember, algae produce motile spores called zoospores and fungi produce non-motile spores called conidia. These are the two MCQs questions. Example of zoospores or example of algae, that is Chlamydomonas, and the non-motile spores, that is conidia, example Penicillium. Next one, fragmentation. It takes place in multicellular organism and here organisms are mostly filamentous, that is they show the filamentous body. Here filament gets broken into these small pieces or fragments accidentally and each fragment develops into new individuals. Best example Spirogyra oscillatory. Right? The next one. See asexual reproduction in higher plants. Higher plants means again pterophyte, angiosperm and gymnosperm. Here we discuss only about the angiosperm. So see what is mean by vegetative reproduction. Actually in higher organisms or higher plants, asexual reproduction is called as vegetative reproduction. The reproduction which takes place with the help of vegetative organs like root, stem and leaf of plant called as vegetative reproductions. Again here two methods of vegetative reproduction. First one natural method, second one artificial method. Natural method of vegetative reproduction already you studied in 11th standard in the chapter morphology of flowering plants. So see artificial method of vegetative reproduction. This artificial method again includes the different methods. First one budding, second cutting, then third grafting and next one tissue culture. See first budding. What is meant by budding? Actually budding it is a type of grafting. Means what happen in this process? A small bud along with small portion of bark are removed and inserted in a particular plants. Such process it is called as the budding. Second one that is the cutting. Cutting here in this process the small pieces of plant parts like root, stem or leaves which are able to develop into new plant when they are placed into the moist soil, right? And mostly the stem cutting method are mostly used. Best example sugar cane, then rose, then China rose, right? The next one grafting. See what is meant by grafting. It is the technique of joining together the parts of two different plants in such a way that they unite and continue their growth as one plants, right? See again what is meant by grafting. It is a technique of joining together the parts of two different plants. Suppose it is a part of one plant and it is a part of another plant. Here the parts of two different plants are joined together in such a way that they unite and they continue their growth as a single plant, right? Such process it is called as the grafting process. The next one here in this grafting two terms are important, stalk and sign. What is meant by stalk? The plant part rooted in the soil called as stalk and the plant part which is inserted on stalk called as the sign. Means this plant part rooted into the soil called as stalk and the plant parts which are inserted on this stalk called as sign, right? Okay. The next one tissue culture. In this method, small amount of plant tissue is grown in lab which give many plantlets. Actually about this tissue culture later on we discuss in chapter enhancement in food production. Okay. Then see in detail sexual reproduction. Now we continue the sexual reproduction. Here sexual reproduction in angiospermic plants. In angiospermic plant, flower is a site of sexual reproduction. So see first what is flower. Flower is a highly modified shoot specially designed for sexual reproduction. Definition of flower. Flower is a highly modified shoot specially designed for sexual reproduction. See the parts of flower or structure of typical flower. If you are able to recall in 11th standard we already discussed all these parts. See first calyx, this one calyx, then corolla, androecium and fourth one gynoecium. Member of calyx called as sepal, member of corolla called as petal. Next one androecium, member of androecium called as stamen and gynoecium, member of gynoecium called carpel, right? So here calyx and corolla called as non-essential floral holes because they do not directly take part in sexual reproduction, and androecium and gynoeciums are called as essential floral holes because they directly take part in sexual reproduction. So here androecium is the male reproductive floral hole and gynoecium is the female reproductive floral hole. Member of androecium stamen. In stamen it consists the anther and in anther they produce the pollen grains later on which form the male gametophyte. So see first structure of anther. See androecium is the male reproductive floral hole and member of androecium called as stamen. Each stamen consists three parts. Which one? First filament, second anther and third one connective. Filament is the stalk of stamen. At the tip of this filament a sac-like structure is present which is called as anther. In anther, two anther lobes are present which are connected by this connective. So the third part, connective, means in the anther either single anther lobe is present or two anther lobes are present. Mostly in anther, two anther lobes are present. If in the anther single anther lobe is present, then it is called monothecous anther, and if in the anther two anther lobes are present, then it is called diathecous anther. Important terms. Again MCQ's question. What is mean by monothecous anther? If in the anther single anther lobe is present, then it is called monothecous anther, and if two anther lobes are present, then it is called diathecous anther. Next, in each anther lobe, the two pollen sacs are present, or two pollen sacs are produced. So, in monothecous anther, two pollen sacs are present, and in diathecous anther, four pollen sacs are present. And in these pollen sacs, anther produce the pollen grains, right? Okay. Then see the structure of this, internal structure of anther. When we take the section of this anther, that is the transverse section of anther, then following structure present. It should be following structure. See first, basically anther, it consists main two parts. First anther wall, and second one pollen sac, or which is also called as microsporangium. Anther wall, it is again differentiated into epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, and tapetum. See one by one. First, epidermis. This one, epidermis, it is the outermost epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost single layer, right? What is the function of this epidermis? It is protective in nature. As it is the outermost, so it is protective in nature. Next one, second layer, which is called as endothecium. This one, it is the endothecium. Inner to this epidermis, again single layer of endothecium is present, and this endothecium, it surrounds all these four pollen sacs, right? Okay. The next one, the cells of endothecium shows the characteristic of fibrous thickening of callose. So what is meant by callose? Callose is an occasional carbohydrate or periodic component of endothecium cell or endothecium cell wall, that is called as the callose. So it is the characteristic of this endothecium. So due to presence of this callose, that is this endothecium, it helps in the dehiscence of anther. See how it helps in dehiscence of anther. Actually the cells of these endotheciums are thin walled near the groove, means here in between these two pollen sacs a shallow groove is present, and here the cells of endotheciums are thin walled, right? And this, it represents the line of dehiscence. So due to fibrous thickening of cell and hygroscopic nature of this endothecium cells, it helps in the dehiscence of anther at maturity. So what is the function of this endothecium? It helps in the dehiscence of anther at maturity. Then next one, third layer, called as middle layer. Again, inside this endothecium, 1 to 3 layers of this middle layers are present. Here this middle layers, it is formed by this parenchymatous cells, and again this middle layer, it surround all these four pollen sacs. The cells of these layers degenerates at maturity, means after the formation of microspores in pollen sacs, and the two pollen sacs of each lobe merge to form one chamber in each lobe, the cells of these middle layers are degenerate, right? Okay. The next layer, which is called as tapetum. Fourth layer, tapetum. Here, tapetum is a layer which surrounds the pollen sacs or microsporangium. Again, it is single layer. The cells of tapetum large in size and consist the dense cytoplasm in which the single or many nuclei are present. What is the function of this tapetum? This tapetum is nutritive in function, that is, it provides the food material to developing pollen grains. So it is the important layer. What is the main function of tapetum? It is nutritive in function and provide the food material to developing pollen grains. Then second part, pollen sacs. Pollen sacs, these are the 4 pollen sacs. Pollen sacs, which is also called as microsporangium. Here, this structure, it is called as pollen sac or microsporangium. In this pollen sac, inner to this tapetum, initially these pollen sacs, it consists the compact mass of sporogenous tissue, and this sporogenous tissue, it acts as microspore mother cells. Then initially these microspore mother cells diploid in nature. So these microspore mother cells, it undergoes the meiosis process to form the 4 haploid microspores, or which is also called as pollen grains, right? And such process, it is called as microsporogenesis. See again, in these pollen sacs, initially the diploid sporogenous tissues are present. These sporogenous tissue, they acts as microspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell, it undergoes the meiosis division to form the 4 haploid microspores, or which is also called as pollen grains, right? So here, such process is called as microsporogenesis. What is meant by microsporogenesis? The process in which the microspores are formed, called as microsporogenesis. When the pollen grains or microspores are formed, they are arranged in different ways. See, sometimes the pollen grains, they arrange like this. Such arrangement, it is called as tetrahedral. Means 3 सामने दिख रहे और 1 पीछे. Second type of arrangement, that is the isobilateral, like this. The next one, sometimes the pollen grains, they arrange like this. That is, such arrangement, it is called as linear tetrad, and sometimes they arrange like this, which is called as F decussate. Most common method of arrangement is tetrahedral. Okay, so this is the structure of anther and internal structure of anther, in which it shows 4 layers and pollen sacs. Here, see again, important layer, tapetum, which is nutritive in nature, right? And in these pollen sacs, they produce the microspores or pollen grains. So see, next, structure of pollen grain. See, pollen grains are unicellular, uninucleated and haploid. It is spherical or oval in shape. Next, pollen grains are double-walled layer, and such double-walled layer of pollen grain structure called as sporoderm. What is meant by sporoderm? The double-walled layer of pollen grain called as sporoderm. Means it shows the 2 layers, outer and inner. Outer layer called as exine and inner layer called as intine. See first, exine. Exine is outer, thick and highly resistant, and it is spiny. Spiny means like this. On the surface of this exine, the spines are present. Spiny in insect pollinated plants and smooth in wind pollinated plants. Next one, exine, it is composed of the sporopollenin. किससे form हुआ है? It is formed by the sporopollenin, right? Next one, second layer, intine. Intine is inner, thin and smooth. it is composed of cellulose and pectin, right? Next one. Inside this intine, the dense cytoplasm is present in which a single nucleus is present. So initially we said that pollen grains are unicellular, uninucleated and haploid, right? See one more point. At certain intervals, this exine is interrupted by a small pore which is called as germ pore. This germ pore helps for releasing the pollen tube after the maturation, right? Okay, so this is the simple structure of pollen grains. What is the important in this pollen grain? First one, 3 terms. First, sporodom. What is sporodom? Double wall layered structure of pollen grain called as sporodom. Next one, exine. किससे कंपोज हुए exine? It is formed by sporopollenin. Second one, intine. It is formed by cellulose and pectin. Next one, at certain intervals, exine, it show the germ pore. See here, in monocot plants, single germ pore is present, so it is called as uniporate. And in dicot plant, 3 germ pores are present, so it is called as triporate. Again, MCQs, these are the MCQs questions. Uniporate, triporate means uniporate pollen grain is present in which plant? Monocot. Triporate germ pore is present in dicot plant, right? Okay. Then next bit, that is the development of male gametophyte. Here the pollen grains are mature and they produce the male gametophyte. In next lecture we discuss about the development of male gametophyte. Okay. See, before we leave the class, important एक बात है, अभी हम लॉकडाउन की वजह से घर पे बंद है. क्यों? तो कोरोना वायरस की वजह से. ये जो कोरोना वायरस है ये हमारे बायो सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड है, तो आप लोग डेली टीवी के ऊपर जो कोरोना वायरस की न्यूज़ आती है वो डिटेल में देखो और उसकी पूरी इन्फॉर्मेशन रखो, क्योंकि ये हमारे बायो रिलेटेड है. इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में, राइट? ओके, टेक केयर, बाय.